All right, so now let's get into our final topic, which is Willam talking about her beef with RuPaul. So yeah, so I know a lot of y'all probably aren't aware of what was going on and stuff with RuPaul and stuff, but yeah, for over the years, Willam and Ru have always had like a bit of a beef with each other. They haven't necessarily gotten along in a lot of ways. And over the years, like, she was on the show, she got disqualified. They said she broke the rules. We were still trying to figure out what those rule breakings were. We've heard things over the years and all other stuff, but I really never felt like we got a real assessment of what went on. Even Leslie Jones, who was a fan of the show, was like, okay, so what did Willam do? So Willam has explained finally the exact moment that her relationship with RuPaul soured forever. Drag Race Season 4 star and all-around icon, Willam remains the only queen to be disqualified from a season of the show while filming. Now, shout out to Pink News for this story. Now, speaking to All Stars to Alaska Thunderfuck 5000 on the Drag Race Recap podcast Race Chaser and discussing the Season 4 episode Float Your Boat, in which the cast were each given the task of decorating a pride float. Wasn't it oh yeah, that was the one where Jiggly came up with that messy ass float. Willam arrived at the moment when Rue conducted her workroom walkthroughs. They said after Willam said that she felt that she was scoring points after quoting Rue's book directly back at her, always a good move, her season 5 alumni co-host Alaska asked, so where did it all go wrong? Alaska continued, I was watching and thought, you two have such a rapport, you get along, you have things in common, and she really sees you, and you have respect for each other. Now, Willam, who has never been one to shy away from an honest answer, replied, I think it permanently soured because I know she likes my antics sometimes and thought I was amusing, and other times she didn't. I knew that she lived for me because of past experiences, and she says that I was so happy to get those good critiques from her. Willam was originally believed to have been disqualified for receiving conjugal visits, but in a later interview, the Queen shared, because she said that she has a husband or whatever, and he didn't believe that she was going on shooting some horror movie or whatever the case was, and so he tracked her down and found out where she was. So they said that, but in a later interview, she shared that she had been booted after committing a series of rule violations, including smoking weed, entering restricted areas of the film lot, and stealing props. She has given a full account of her on-set shenanigans on X/Twitter, where it has this one. We see this clip here.
Step forward. What the actual fuck is happening right now? What the actual fuck is happening right now? What is happening? What did Willam do?
What the hell is happening?
What the fuck?
Willam.
Same. Now, shout out to Leslie Jones, child, because she had me look at Dita Ritz, because Leslie Jones's commentary, child, is everything. But anyway, let's continue, and let's continue with the rest of the story. So Willam has spoken further about her personal relationship or lack thereof with RuPaul, claiming that the pair had a shouting match in an LA street in 2018 over the health of a mutual friend. And for those of you who wonder who that mutual friend is, that was I was about to say Lucian Piani, who y'all saw in the picture. See, that's why it threw me off. Matthew Anderson. Now, Matthew Anderson actually used to do, at the time, if you saw that little look that I showed y'all, Matthew Anderson was someone who has done Rue's hair and makeup for years, even before Drag Race and all this other stuff. So, and I also knew this team that Matthew Anderson was somebody who, excuse me, when I lived in LA, he used to come to this vintage store that I used to live behind, because it was like the store was in the front, and then the people that owned the store, I rented out a room in their in their house, because they had a big house, whatever. So I would rent out a part of their house. It was a huge space too. That's one thing I love about LA versus New York. Their spaces are huge. So I wound up living out there, and it was in Silver Lake, and it was a good price too. And so I lived there, but then they would always have like these, it was a vintage shop, and then they would always have comedy specials. That's when Daniel Franzese, a lot of celebrities was there. I also met Jamie, the chick that played, she was on that Netflix show, and she also did, I forgot her last name, but she also played the new Pinhead in the Hellraiser reboot. So she was at one of the parties and stuff that I was at too, that my roommates was throwing at the time. So she said, we have a mutual friend. Well, he's my friend. I don't know that he's her friend anymore. He is not well right now. He's been asking to see her and she hadn't gone to see him. She took care of him for years. He's one of those people that has flown very high and he's had his problems. He hasn't been a saint. They had a bad experience on set together and he was removed from the show. I was deeply offended by that because in the 90s, gay men were pretty much erased from the arts because AIDS wiped us out. It's tragic. I saw this as another erasure of a gay man's contribution to the arts, who's my friend. I think I took a shine to him because he liked me and he saw creativity in me. He knew working with me pissed off RuPaul and World of Wonder. Probably kind of similar to people, apparently, Alaska thinks they're pissed at her because she works with Willam. I said, I know he wasn't an angel, and I know that you're paying for him now because she's paying for the care. World of Wonder's taking care of him, but he actually liked to see you. Show some face. And maybe Rue thought that, oh, well, we're taking care of him and all that, so that should be enough. But it's like, okay, money is cute or whatever for that moment, but I need to physically see you. Like, that to me is more important. So RuPaul said, fuck you. I said, fuck you too, bitch. And that basically was apparently the end of it. And one of the things I do have a cackle about is that Willam's studio is literally across the street from World of Wonder. Because if you go on my Instagram, you see I did take a picture. When I went to LA, I took a picture in front of World of Wonder. And that was the day that I was doing something at Willam's studio. And so I was like, well, while we wait for Willam's people and stuff to show up, I'm going to run across the street and I'm going to take my little picture in front of World of Wonder. And it's on my Instagram, @BChrisAvalon_. So, and then I have Willam's book. I have it somewhere. I need to find it. But, yeah, so I totally get it. It's like, you know what, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you helped usher me and give me this opportunity because you know what, Willam was an actor and was working on a lot of other shows, Boston Public, Nip Tuck. He's done a lot of different programs and was doing a lot of TV and stuff. And then came on Drag Race because it was an opportunity for Willam to elevate them, take themselves to the next level. And Drag Race has helped him be able to build the brand that he has built and take it further without having to rely on, oh, I need to get an acting gig on this show or I may dry up with this situation. So RuPaul's Drag Race has definitely helped him in that way of building his other, stuff. But the crazy part about it all is the fact that, it's just like, I'm not going to abandon my friend because whatever he did to y'all on set, then you're mad at him over that. And yeah, we're going to take care of him and we're going to do this, that, and the other. But I don't want you being friends. And first of all, you're not going to tell me who I can and cannot be friends with. Like, that's one thing you're not going to do with me. So I'm glad that we actually got the real tea. That finally it's like, okay, so the disqualification became because she was stealing things. And look, so many other queens since that have told about how they've stolen props and stuff from the set. So why weren't they disqualified? I guess they found out at the last minute. Y'all didn't use some damn super glue so to make sure that people are not walking around stealing the props. But, Willam finally explained why she was eliminated or disqualified or whatever, but y'all had to make up some whole bullshit. Y'all could have just told us the truth and kept it moving. But yeah, and it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, I have no respect for you because of the way you treated this person who was there for you and probably was you were probably friends longer with. And now you just pretty much just scarfed them and tossed them aside like they ain't shit. And I can't rock with somebody like that. So shout out to Willam, shout out to Race Chaser. I do love the show. That and I love Meatball in them show too. And Very Delta. There's a lot of great shows in there. Speaking of which, Very Delta is on the Mom podcast. I mean, the Mom channel, the Mom Network, which Willam and Alaska own, which, we talked about in the prior episode. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this story down below. I kind of wish that Willam and RuPaul would kind of make bygones be bygones, but everybody got these stories about Ru not being the kindest, and people should be allowed to say what they're going to say. And I have to say, I did live for the commentary of Leslie Jones gagging over the fact that Willam got eliminated or disqualified. She wasn't eliminated, she was disqualified. She was chopped from the show. So let me know what you guys think of this story down below.